again the voice called to her. Isaac's soul is still corrupt. He needs to be cut off from all that is evil in this world and confess his sins. I will follow your instructions, Lord. I have faith in thee, Isaac's mother replied, as she locked Isaac in his room, away from the evils of the world.
Whoopsie. Alrighty, so we're trying to beat the beast again. Who do we want to try and do this with? The hell? Why do I have... Oh, because I got Eden's Blessing the last time I played. I mean, I'll take it. Free flight. And the wafer. Oh my god. Okay, this is a good start to a game. This is a good start to a run. Holy cripes. Now I just need Spectral Tears. And if we can get some hearts on the ground. We are gonna be able to do a lot more damage. Okay, Stonies, you are starting to get real aggravating. Thank you for dying. So I very could have easily, or very easily could have, sorry, done the sacrifice room, but I don't think I'm going to be able to now. I've just been tagged again. But depending on what gets dropped in this boss fight, I might still try and do it. Single red heart. And a Jesus juice. We're gonna go try and get some stuff from the sacrifice room. Because we have the wafer. Also see if there's anything else that gets dropped here. A dime is really nice. That means we can buy a soul heart afterwards. That's half heart. Another half a heart. Another half a heart. Okay, if that had dropped me... You know, I think the only place that the secret room can be is like here. Yeah. Which isn't great, it's just a battery. I was actually hoping for hearts. I'll pick it up, might as well. However, we can try and get the super secret room, though it's going to be a little bit more difficult to pin in where it is. I'm gonna try and get the angel slash devil deal from this. Got more money. Okay, and that's Holy Light, Star of Bethlehem. So that's really good. It's not fantastic, but it is pretty good. We're gonna pick up that and this, and we're gonna leave. So the Star of Bethlehem, basically, it just slowly works its way towards the boss room. Okay, did not need that. Infestation shot is really good. Oh, I just screwed that up by trying to stay in the Star of Bethlehem. SOB. I'll pick up Lil Haunt. I'll take some damage for that. Lil Haunt is actually quite a good follower. I think we are still gonna try and use the curse room again, because I've started to realize that the curse rooms are actually, or the sacrifice rooms, I keep mixing the two up, that the sacrifice rooms are actually quite overpowered. Then again, so is Little Haunt. Secret room could be right here. No. Could be right here. There it is. If I had flight, that'd be amazing. But sadly, I do not. So we're gonna go and fight the boss. I actually wish he targeted the little one. Or I could just die. Man, I'm not having a good start to any of these runs. Gonna leave that red heart on the ground so that we can possibly use a sacrifice pit. If one exists here. Sulfuric acid is actually also very good. Don't need bombs no more. Ow. I think the sulfuric acid tiers also do a little bit more damage. Like, secretly. Like, it's just kind of like a secret stat up. Oh good. Spawn more spider's teeth. That's really nice. The marked rock there is also going to be very nice once... So here's the thing, I can use sulfuric acid to try and find secret rooms. If I remember correctly? Yes. Since we have 12, I'm gonna go and check out the item, or the shop room just to see if there's anything. Ooh, that is definitely worth getting. I really hope there's a sacrifice room here. Drugs.
Range down.
Drugs.
Something's wrong.
Drugs. Drugs. Something's wrong. Okay. Yeah, I can just go in. And I think sulfur is based off of luck. Ow. Oh, for fuck's sakes, man. I am just not here today. I have died on, like, level 1, like, 3 times now. What is going on? And, like, a lot of it is such stupid damage. Oh my god, and I actually get one of the ones that gives me both. But they're both absolutely terrible. Okay, so... Oh, this is a... not a great one to be at. Because I always seem to lose on the first levels, so... or get hit on the first level, so... I mean, we're going to try. There's protection. I didn't even think that it would do that. Big Chub is both very useful and very annoying because he comes back to you really quickly, but he also is slow. However, that slow can be a good thing because he blocks shots. So it's kind of this like tit for tat situation. He does more damage because of tick over, and he blocks shots a lot easier because he's slow, and he blocks them for a lot longer. But he's also insanely annoying to shoot because he takes so long to get where he's going. But it's because he's slow. Because he is big. Huh? That was weird. Okay, so he can't go over rocks. That's a lot of bombs. We just spent one bomb and one key to get, like, that's a lot of bombs. Holy cripes. Petrified poop. A much higher chance to spawn things from poop. Ooh. Almost ran full tilt. Oh, okay, hello. I'll just leave. Ooh, soul heart. Yoink. Drugs. Luck up is good. That is crazy how fast they are allowed to shoot. That's so crazy to me. Well, Gertie! Well, Gertie's okay. He just slides around. Bye-bye, baby plum. Range up is nice. Double Monstro. That is just fantastic. Oh, we killed one already. It's because of little Gertie. And my chubby. You know, I'm not even gonna worry about it. I'm gonna go for angel deals. Fuck that. We're gonna see what I can do. Oh. Wow. Okay, we need to try and abuse the fuck out of whatever system this thing's given us. I really hope that there is a oh yeah, I'm just gonna take damage here. Don't think there's a way I get out of that. Psychic Corpse. Stay far the fuck away.
Wheel of Fortune.
Alright. Yeah, I don't really know how I'm supposed to dodge some of this shit. Oh good, we have a scaredy heart. Oh, they're all scaredy hearts. Because now we can at least abuse the fact that I'm probably going to take damage, and red health damage at that, to try and get our health up at least. Because we have that room. Oh, that's pretty good. You know, Box of Friends might actually be kind of funny with the build I've got. You know what? I'm going to actually pay for that. I'm going to pay for that. Free room charge. But if I can get it down to, like, say, like a 1-room charge, or even if we can somehow get it to... I think you'd need to have... I think I'd need to have car battery to make it, like, really worth it. Yeah, we found everything. I don't know why I'm kind of wasting time. Perks of the job. What's perks of the job? Oh, that it's raining and you don't need to go. Does make it a little bit nicer, doesn't it? Well, it's good to have you here. I think double active card is going to be the one that I go with, just because then I'll gain an extra set of followers in a final fight. Are we really going for like a follower build? Ouch. Oh yeah, I'm just getting fucking gangbanged here. Holy crap. Increases the chance of OT pay too. Yeah, I guess it would, wouldn't it? There's a reason people like working construction. Oh yeah, I'm just gonna get fucked here. Holy cripes. Keith, you gotta be playing safe, man. This is why I'm playing terrible. You're here, Gymnast. It was good. We had a good Easter. Mom and Dad always kind of do like the Easter egg hunt. Even though all of us are like so old, it allows them to make said Easter egg hunt hilariously more challenging, which I think my dad really likes. Because most of us kids are kind of like meh, like we do care for it because it is fun. Yeah, exactly. Right, but yeah, like, you know my father pretty well. Like, he's very much like, all right, he wanted to make it as like challenging as physically possible, right? So like we were outside. That is where the Easter egg hunt took place, outside on the farm. So as you can guess, it was just absolute fucking chaos. Because no one in my family is competitive at all. Alright, it's lost. Honestly. Like, some of them are like, literally, like, you need to climb like halfway up a tree to get to it. And it's like, Dad, how the fuck did you get up there? You're not exactly, like, a young guy anymore. I think I'm actually gonna play Kain. I need to unlock Tainted Kain, because apparently Tainted Kain is really fun. Oh my god. I'm resetting, though, for that. That is an item that I absolutely despise. I don't care what the next item is that I get. I don't like that item. Perfect. I'll go with Lodestone. It's a Coke run. You gotta remember, Kain's trinket is being broken. And the more I have unlocked, baby, like the I sadly am not able to. I've got to go... I gotta go do a bunch of blacksmithing today. I still have so much shit to do to get ready for the show. I would love to, though. And I would go later. Like, what I was originally thinking of doing was going... like doing this, going and out to the farm till like 3 or something, and then going climbing. But I got asked to like take over like 5 shifts because someone's out today, and like all for the next 2 weeks. Oh, I'm just gonna die. Okay. So I took those over, so I'm working at 5:30 today. But I'll make you a deal. Well, actually, no, because you might be working tomorrow. You might be working tomorrow. Scheisse. With me. Get out of here, DoorDash and McDonald's. Trying to make me invest. TD trying to make me invest. Just tell me when you're back. The movie? Yeah, it's pretty good. Oh my god, this is like the 4th time I've seen Baby Plum. Alright. I was gonna say, tell you what, Gymnast. Since you're probably gonna be working tomorrow, and this is probably one of the few chances we'll get to climb together, let's go climbing. Right after this, I'm probably going to be done by 11. And I'll probably only be able to climb for like maybe an hour, hour and a half. Because then I gotta go out to the farm. Yeah, let's do that. Oh my god, I'm just getting shafted on items today. Like, I've gotten some pretty good... Like, my first run, I had Eden's Blessing. Honestly, temporary invisibility is pretty good, but also so is the item generation. I got Wafer as my first item. It's like... Like, that's pretty good. Yeah, sure. This week I'm gonna be working till 10:30, so it's probably not gonna be a go this week, but after that, sure. I'd be down. Okay, this Stony is going to give me a freaking aneurysm. Okay, come on over, Stony. Like a little kid. You gotta just, like, leash, like, not leash them, but, like, walk them around like they're on a leash. Excuse me, since when could you launch spiders? Toll the Dead is now broken. How is it broken? Please explain. Just is? Oh. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty broken. I'm pretty sure, like, in actual D&D, Toll the Dead's kind of broken, though. Okay, Little Horn, if you're just gonna start spitting out balls, I'm not gonna be super pleased about it. And that is exactly what he's going to do. Wow, that's actually pretty good. I think Corpse Explosion is also a spell in D&D. I'm pretty sure it is. Just kill it. Oh, this is not going to be fun. This is where I'd like the damage. Excuse me. That is one thing that I think should be fixed in this game. Is that things that spawn other things, i.e. like Fistula, because it spawns spiders, should not be able to just like arbitrarily like drop a spider on your head. Okay, I forgot what that one did. You, sir, are a dickhead. Oh, I'm 100% dead. Yeah, or at the very least that. There should be something that's like, hey, you're gonna get hit if you walk here, but it doesn't. It's just like, and it just drops. And the thing I don't like about it is it drops almost instantaneously. Like, it's not like some sort of like kind of like funny explosion and then you can kind of see. Get fucked. Boneheart. There goes my Boneheart. Mother Earth gift card? What is Mother Earth? I'm assuming it's a gardening store. Okay, can you please, like, get the fuck off me, Stony? Yeah, greenhouse. Megan might? Kathleen might. I can think of a couple people that might. Run by Tyler's parents. Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe, for sure. Also, I'm just gonna be lazy. I'm sorry, guys. There we go. Don't care what the item is, just don't want to. Fuck it. I'll take it. Yeah, my partner might like one too. Sold in $25 increments. So basically you pay what? I can ask my partner, I'll ask my mother, I'll ask Kathleen about it. I can ask Megan about it too. Should not have picked that up. I can definitely think of a couple people in my life that would probably do something with that, but I would need to ask and find out. Excuse me. Gotta know by the 25th? Okay. Well, I will ask tonight then. Also, this is super weird. Panda's usually in here by now. Wonder where he is. Hope he's okay. Thanks, Gymnast. Also, hey Gymnast, what characters do you have unlocked? No, okay. Well, I'm just gonna sit and cry in a corner for a second. I don't know what it is. I'm just having a fucking hard time today. Like, I'm just taking a lot of stupid damage. Isaac Azazel Samson for sure. Okay. Because I genuinely need help with Jacob and Esau. Like, genuinely need help. Me and Panda were doing it. Me and Panda did this last stream. Where because to get Rock Bottom, which is the unlock I want from Jacob and Esau, you need to beat Boss Rush. Oh yeah, that's right, you saw. You were there for that, because that was Friday. Dude. Was a good Friday, literally. Oh, for frick's sakes. Leave the soul heart on the ground, Keith. Language, sir. The language I am speaking is English. There are adult ears here. I don't know about that one. Throwing around words like frick. Disgraceful. That's me. Absolute disgrace right here. Consolation prize. God damn it. Man, I'm just getting absolutely fucking throttled. Oh. On items today. Like I had two or three runs on Friday, and then I played a couple by myself. On like Saturday that were just fantastic, and I must have just used up all the mojo. Because like I had a couple runs that were just like astronomically good. Like First Devil Deal, Brimstone sort of shit. Ooh, this is not going well. Yep. Woo, 3 coins! Let's go! Oh. I was like, what? Why is your thing perfectly poised rutabaga? I just read that and I was like, what? Hey! I got Stapler, which is actually really good for Kain, because it doesn't change his damage at all. Or it changes his damage, but it doesn't change his fire rate at all. I mean, fair. I think that's kind of the point. TBF bosses. How are you doing, Reflex? I'm having my ass absolutely handed to me. That's how I'm doing.
Range up.
Got home from work. Crappy. Sorry that you're tired, but I mean, work is a good thing. What do you do for work? If I might ask. Teacher's assistant? Oh, cool! So you're one of the good guys. When I was going to university, that was actually the first thing I went into was education. I was gonna do just regular teaching, but to other kids. That's fair. But hey, I'm pretty sure you also help them learn stuff when they really need it. So I can't remember. There was a study done about like the value of having like a second or third, depending on, you know, where you are, adult in like a classroom. And it was like actually pretty substantial, at least here in Canada. I don't know about like where you live, because if you're just getting off of work, you are somewhere in Europe. Okay. I need a vote. Devil deal or angel deal? While you guys vote, I'm gonna go take a pee real quick. Alright, we'll do angel deals. Very much so. Like, I am more so helping one-on-one with a kid that struggles, but do help the others, and yeah. Just right now, in the process of transitioning to assistant to actual substitute. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I was originally going in education when I was going to university, but where I live, the College of Education, which is what it's called where I live, I think they were saying like pumped out like almost like 300 or 400 new teachers a year. And like the whole teaching industry, like where I live, is like oversaturated with children, oversaturated with like substitute teachers, but very few actual teachers, because they don't get paid well where I live. Like, public teachers don't get paid well at all. So yeah, it's really sad, because it's this very, like, awkward, like, some classrooms have, like, 40 plus children in them. Yeah, it's falling apart. Gymnast would know. His mom's a teacher. It's falling apart by the seams. Yeah, it is. It really, really is. But I also have, I always have and always will have a very high amount of respect for people that go into education. Because I'm sorry, like, for such a horribly paid job, at least, again, where I live, it is not a great job. It's such, like, I don't understand how it's such a poorly paid job. Because, like, I'm sorry, like, education is kind of the thing that, you know, keeps a country running. So it's kind of crazy to me that it's like, oh yeah, we just, like, we're not gonna pay our teachers, like, a living wage half the time. Yeah, then people complain about the drug issue here, and it's like, okay, yeah. You probably wouldn't have very many drug issues if you actually had, like, teachers that could, like, one-on-one with kids and help teach. Right, and obviously, it depends, because, like, I know when I was going to, like, high school and, like, elementary school, the, you know, 2 years that I went to elementary school, or primary school, whatever you want to call it, we had teacher's assistants, but they were specifically there for, some kids with special needs, and that was it. So it was really quite, like, they would help you a little bit, but they were really there just to help the kids with special needs. Keith, stop getting hit. I also wish these fat bats would stop dodging me! But either way, I gotta say props to you, man. Being a teacher's assistant is probably one of the more honorable jobs out there, along with, like, being a substitute or even just being a regular teacher. All of them, I think, are a very, very honorable job outside of most anything else, just because your job is to educate people and try and make them better people. Because part of the thing with, like, teaching, it's not just about, like, teaching them, you know, math, science, that sort of thing. It's also about teaching social structure and, like, how to interact with with other people, which, at least in the country where I live, is a very sorely undervalued thing. Because I can tell you right now, most of the kids that I know yeah, and then there are some countries where the education sector is paid, like, amazingly. Like, it's actually a really sought-after job. Oh my god, thank you. I don't want broken sub.
The world.
But yeah, I definitely think that teaching in and of itself is probably one of the better professions out there. It's going pretty good, Panda. How are you doing? We're having a talk about education right now. And how at least the Canadian education system is garbage. Public education system. We don't... actually, now that I think about it, Canada almost doesn't have a private education system. Annoyed by my loud-ass family. Oh, fun. having a family get-together. I'm kind of in the same boat. I both genuinely enjoy my family get-togethers and do not some days. Okay, little horn. Fair.
Range up.
I personally enjoy getting together with my family. Like my grandparents, parents, that ends. Yeah. But I was gonna say, my family get-togethers are relatively small. So, that kind of changes things a little bit. But yeah, like, from what I remember, I think that there's, like, 1 or 2 private schools in, like, all of Canada. And, like, one of them is, like, really close to a city I live in. But they're just, like... I don't know, I think it's crazy that public education in Canada is just so horribly overstaffed but understaffed at the same time. Like, it's really hard to explain, but that is the best way to put it. We have a surplus. Fair. Like, sorry, I derailed that train of thought. Like, we have a surplus of teacher's assistants and even, like, substitute teachers. But actually, like, proper, like, teachers in schools, they're starving for them. But they won't get more people to be teachers because they don't have the facilities, they don't have enough schools and rooms in schools to have more classrooms. So it's like, to me, it would be like, okay, well, to fix that problem, you make more classrooms, right? No. They just go, ah, well, sucks. I also realized I did that whole rant while an ad was going on, so half of you didn't hear it. You have a private EDU. Oh, education. Private education. I mean, and it really depends, right? Like, I'm sure everywhere in the world has its problems.
Experimental drill.
I'm sure every education system around the world has its problems. For sure. 110%. I just know that the education system where I live, the reason it's so bad is because they're not willing to actually facilitate education. They treat it more like a glorified daycare service. Education gets treated like glorified daycare that is obsessed with Trivial Pursuit, the game. And it's really sad, like, because like when I was going to high school, well, yeah, high school. But when I was going to high school or secondary education, like, that was one of the things that I kind of decided I wanted to do, was to be a teacher. Because I had one teacher that was just amazing, and he wanted people to become teachers. Right? But at the same time, like, I talked to him about it, like, when I was going to post-secondary and university. And he was like, you know what, if it's something that you really want to do and you're really passionate about it, do it. But he was like, but it's honestly not worth it at this point in time. He was like, it's just... He said you'd be doing it, and you'll be a substitute teacher for the next 20 years. Because the only way you get a new teaching job is if people die, essentially, and retire. And a lot of the times people weren't retiring or dying, right? So it really became not a field that you can get into easy and actually become a teacher and like have an actual classroom, which is sad. And it's one of those things too where like it makes me wonder if it would be more worth it to like, you know, move somewhere and become a teacher, because like that's what a lot of people do. Like I learned that a lot of people in Canada that like get their teaching degree move to different countries so that they can be relatively well-paid teachers. So yeah, it's just one of those things that kind of makes me sad to like talk about, and I really wish that something would happen yeah, seriously, like that's actually something that a lot of people do, or like one of like even moving to like a lot of European countries. Right, like one of the guys that I watch on YouTube, CGP Grey, he learned Dutch just so he could move there to teach. Because he was American, and here's the thing that's really sad. Okay, the Canadian education system, by my personal view, is atrocious. It is not well paid, it is not anything, it is not good. Okay? The American education system is worse than ours by like 100-fold. Are constantly vying for coffee per capita. That's from the last stream when I talked about that. That doesn't surprise me. Both of you drink absolutely absorbent amounts of coffee. Also, I forgot to ask Reflex, where are you from? If I can ask, or if you are comfortable saying. Why? I've found this item like 4 times. I'm gonna just take it for the sake of taking it. Oh my god, Jacob's Ladder is so nice for clearing rooms like that. We'll say I'm from Europe, aka Ireland. Another issue is that a lot of the time it's contract based. Like it's just you are here for a limited time and essentially just cycle through another substitute. Like even in Europe, it's not the most stable. Yeah, and that's I've heard that too. That like there's a lot of places where it's like teachers aren't like so like here we have a school board. And teachers are employed by the school board and they're just kind of given a classroom in a school. And Gymnast, please correct me if I am incorrect about this, because you would know more about this than I would. Ow, ow. And then you're just kind of told to, like, go teach the kids. Right? And again, maybe not the worst way to do it, but it means that, like, you're kind of, like, stuck, right? Like, if you want to transfer to, like, a different school or whatever, right? Like, it's difficult because there could be somebody else already there teaching the class that you might be most, like, viable to teach. And even if they're teaching it worse than you, they've been there longer, so they get priority. Which is just silly to me. Did not want to do that, but alright. It's just a random active item. Sometimes it can be the D6, sometimes it can be the D20, sometimes it can be the D100, sometimes it can be IV bag. Oh, Keith, come on. We had a chance at greatness. That's why everyone hates it. Yeah, because it can kill you. Especially if you're playing the Lost. Since... Yeah, get Plan C. Yeah, you can. I think there is a couple items like Plan C that are, like, banned from it being activated, because otherwise it would just be, like, stupid. But yeah, like you said, Reflex, I'm assuming that even, like, with contract work, it's still, like, it's not super stable. It's considered one of the worst items in the game. Yeah, it really is. It's not a great item. Because, like, I can't remember. There was a thing that I was reading a while ago, and it was basically about, like, could be data miner. Fair. Could be data miner. There was, like, it was, like, countries ranked by, like, how... Wait, I did find the item room, didn't I? Yeah, I did, okay. It was, like, countries ranked by, like, how good their, like, education program was, and not just in terms of, like, education, but, like, how well teachers are paid, how well they are accommodated, like, all that sort of stuff. And it was, like, I think Dutch was, like, one of the better ones. I don't know if it was the best one, but it was definitely one of the better ones. I haven't gotten a single angel deal. It's starting to get ridiculous. Fear me. Fair. But at least it's a respected job. Like, there's a lot of times that, like... I don't know about in Canada, but, like, being a teacher in Canada is not really seen as, like, that great of a job. It's not seen as, like, a bad job by any stretch of the imagination, where people, like, think, like, you're silly for being in education. But it's definitely one of those jobs where, like, it's not as... Yeah, I cannot say anything about the Netherlands since I'm not from there. Just I know that sometimes Ireland is included and can say that it's an optical illusion, e.g. Ireland is considered one of the richest countries, but the people barely have any and the prices are high. Same with teachers, where it can be, but good luck ever getting to be a teacher. Yeah, and that's the thing, right? Like, oh, that's actually a really good, Plan C is actually a really good thing here. Holy crap. Right, it has almost nothing to do with, like, that sort of thing. It has to do with, like, the oversaturation. Yeah, the oversaturation of people who want to be teachers. Like, one of my philosophies, and it might be a stupid philosophy, but one of my philosophies was that if we could transition back to more of the, not necessarily like master apprentice mindset, because that's a whole other like thing. And relatively antiquated, but the idea of having much smaller classrooms, like, you know, oh, okay. Like, say, 10 children to a schoolroom, like, the teacher would actually be able to educate and answer questions and be there for the children that they are teaching to teach, right? Rather than just trying to babysit, you know, 30 to 40 children and, you know, not being able to do a very good job of it because they're trying to babysit 30 to 40 children. Right? And then in reality, it's like, okay, if we do that, does that mean that, you know, we'd have a lot more teachers, right? And it's like, okay, what about facilities? Well, what if you just made facilities smaller too and more accessible? Right? Right, like, we have giant, like, not giant schools, but, like, we have relatively large schools because you've got, like, 6 classes of, like, you know, grade 5s who are trying to all learn the same stuff, but then it's like, okay, what if instead you had yeah, exactly. Like, there was a thing that was put forward, not put forward, but like that was theorized. And I think CGP Grey actually did a video on it, and it was called Digital Archimedes. And do I agree with the idea of letting a bot teach people? No, 100%. I do not agree with that at all. However, I do think that the concept of having smaller classrooms... Oh shit! I needed the fool card. Shit, I'm not gonna get it. Guess we're doing something different today. What do I need to do on this guy? Literally those 2 things. Fuck me. Well. Shit. I was hoping I could sneak out. restart then. Sorry, guys. I goofed that up. I got talking too much. Yeah. Oh well. It was a relatively good run, but kind of fucked it, because I'm going to try and beat the beast, and you can't really go and beat the beast if you don't go the right way. Kinda need the Polaroid or negative to do that, but then you gotta get the fuck out. Something tells me I need some more coffee. Yeah, so like in reality, you would also need more funding for the kids as well, right? Or for the teachers to be able to facilitate that. Which makes it, I mean, like that in and of itself makes it difficult, because then it's like, you know, public school system, it's run by public entities who want to, you know, make things work, but humans are greedy. I'm sorry, like that is my honest opinion. Humans are greedy, and most people in power, even in like a public education school board, are still going to value their paycheck over making sure, you know, children are well taught. Which is sad. It is insanely sad to me. Right? Like, in a perfect world, like, sure, if you could get enough funding for, like, public education, then you could do it. But the only people who fund public education is the government, and the government is greedy as shit. So you end up not getting a very much public education funding. Like, the amount of people that I know who want to be teachers or who are going into teaching, and it's like public, or like, you know, our TAs, which are what we call teachers assistants, or anything like that, that like just talk about how like the last like 4 years or something, like public education funding for like classrooms, like, and I mean like literally just buying like school supplies, buying fucking pencils, has like just decreased like every year. Because they gotta make their bottom line look good. Like almost all the teachers that I had in high school also had second jobs as like craftsmen or carpenters or like that sort of thing. And they just like, they did it whenever they could because they needed to make money. And a lot of the times, like one of the guys that I was, like one of the teachers that I had always talked about like, a lot of the times the money that he made from his second job went towards like helping his classroom. Like it's depressing, it's sad. Heath, stop getting hit by stupid things. Yeah, there's a trend of teachers having OnlyFans on top of their job, also being caught and causing conflict, but also that's a lot of them only turn towards it because of the poor pay. Yeah, no, exactly. Like, that's the thing. Like, it's insane. Like, it's mind-boggling to me. Like, being a teacher and, like, being stuck in that situation, like, I can't even imagine. Like, that would be terrible. Like, not being able to teach the kids, like, because that's the thing that you actually want to do, is teach children. And, like, educate them. And being stuck needing to try and, like, have a second job or, like, anything, right? Just because you have to. Have to. Because you can't, like, the school board or whatever, like, the school system doesn't pay you well enough. Like, excuse me, what the fuck? Like, these are children that you're trying to educate and make sure that they can become functioning members of society. Wouldn't, like, I don't know, the older generation, like, want to, like, invest a fair amount of money and time into that? Like, to me, that's how it should work. Like, it's like, okay, this is, you are trying to make sure that the next generation doesn't fuck up the way you did. Educate them. It's bonkers to me. Just absolutely bonkers. All good. And, like, sure, like, I will admit, like, there are people out there who are very good teachers and who are very smart and probably do very well for themselves. But my guess is most of them come from private sector. Right? Or, like, being a tutor. Like I can't remember, someone was telling me that I work with at the liquor store, because I work at a liquor store. And she's a substitute teacher. And she was telling me that, like, she transitioned into, like, being a private educator in the sense of, like, she's a tutor. So she just helps people with, like, their math homework, essentially, and, like, shit like that. And she was like, I make almost as much money doing that as I do teaching, and I get to actually teach a child. Like, I get to actually work with them one-on-one. Right, but then that's a whole other thing. Like, then you are your own company, right? So you can work how you want to work, but at the same time, you also need to supply all of your own shit. Yeah, like, you could make a shit ton of money doing it, depending on who you tutor for, right? But at the same time, like, I don't know, it's just wild to me. And, like, even to do that, though, you still need a teaching license. You still need to go through, like, the 4 years of education. Yeah, for a spoiled rich kid. Yeah, exactly. And it's like, that's probably not any better. That's probably just as stressful, because you've got people with a shit ton of money who just want you to make things better. Right? And it's like, it's not that easy. Especially in education, because their kid might just be fucking lazy. Oh my god, we got a planetarium. Lost our devil deal, but I don't care. I am a gas giant. And we got box of spiders, sure. Ow. So yeah, to me it just feels like it's just like a lose-lose situation. No matter what you do, it just feels like a lose-lose situation. We're gonna go for angel deals. Yeah, I don't know. Education in and of itself is like one of those things that just makes... Revelation drop on floor 3? What? Isaac... Oh, okay, I was very lost. I was like, what the fuck are we talking about? Did I miss an item? No, you're just being a smartass. Yeah, like, and I've still used some of my like love / want to like educate and try and educate, right? And I do that with my blacksmithing, right? Because I teach blacksmithing classes. Right? But at the same time, it's like, I would have loved to have been a teacher. I would have loved to have, you know, taught biology, which is what I studied. I don't know if Reflex is still here. If they are. What did you just study education in university, or did you like have like a specialty that you were like aiming for? So like biology, chemistry, psychology, like any of those? Because that is one other thing, is like that's how you can get paid more as a teacher, is like to have like a specialty and like be like teaching like AP physics. Yeah, no, fuck telekinesis. It's an absolutely useless item. That's a useless item. I will take the key, though. Thank you. Excuse me. Okay. Die. Ooh, little Chad. Erg. Like, or, reflex, like, do you teach, like, a grade of some sort? Also, I will be right back, guys. I gotta run to the washroom again. I also need to feed my cat, because I can hear her trying to rip something apart. However, I will be nice and leave you guys with Sammy. Your guys' job is to teach Sammy something. Okay. It is frickin' cold down here. I mean, it's just cold everywhere right now. It's raining outside, it's gross. I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't dislike rain. Rain is good for you. Kind of makes sure crops grow, but... I needed to get tagged by that, didn't I? That's nice. Range and luck up is good. Sammy was talking about Karl Marx. Of course he was. Yeah, I've always been curious to, like, know, like, what other, like, education systems are like around the world. Because I know there are some that are absolutely, like, horrendous. Like, the States is one of them, for sure. But I also know that, like, there are some out there in the world that are just, like, just bad. And it has nothing to do with, like... Well, it has everything to do with the government. But I have also thought that it would be really interesting, like, take streaming, for example. Like, I'm streaming right now, and I'm streaming... I mean, North Korea is perfect by definition. Yeah, okay, gymnast. I get the joke that you're making, but yeah. And not even a joke, but just, like, the thought process behind it. Yeah, I get what you're saying. I don't agree with it, but I get what you're saying. But, like, one of the things that I was thinking that I always thought would be really interesting, like, I really like biology, right? You know, what if, like, someone was to just sit there, like, they had a teaching degree, couldn't do anything. What if you started streaming? What if you just taught classes, like, online? Right? And instead of, like, being funded by, like, the education board, you were just funded by you and people donating to your stream. Like, I don't think it would work. I don't think it would be feasible at all, but I've always thought that that would be such an interesting, like, way to approach education. You wouldn't, obviously, if you had, like, you know, 700 people watching you like you do in, like, yeah, like Hank Green. Exactly. Right? But I don't think he streams it. I don't think he streams it. He just makes educational YouTube videos. SciShow, in and of itself, is an absolutely amazing concept. Right? And I've always thought that that would be such an interesting way to approach education, because then you could, like, theoretically learn about what you actually want to learn about. Because, like, I can't tell you how many times, like, I was learning about stuff in, like, a class where I was just like, I am not interested in this, but I have to take it because it's a class that I need, right? Like, English. Don't get me wrong, learning how to read, learning how to formulate proper sentences, learn in writing and, like, all that sort of stuff. Like, that is in and of itself important. But how many times in, like, our adult life have we had to use, like, writing an essay? Like, unless you're going into a field where you need to write, like, scientific essays, like my sister. My sister has to do this. Because she is a chemist. She is a scientist. She does actually have to do that. Makes sense to need to have it then. But in high school, right, most kids that go into high school, sure, they want to go into post-secondary education, but a lot of the times they don't do anything with it. Right? It's like, why? right? Why would you want to learn about how to write an essay when, you know, for all you know, you're going to be a construction worker? You're never going to need to write an essay in your life. You didn't need to learn that information. It was functionally a waste of time. Which is like one of those things where I always believed that, like, credits, because that's what we get in here, and I'm sure it's the same elsewhere too. But, like, I always believed that all classes should be electives, so you can just choose to join whatever electives you want, whatever classes you want to join, like you can in university, and just take them. Right? And it's on you to actually know if it's going to fucking help you in the long run. Like, what do you want to do with your life, right? Like, if you want to be, you know, a scientist, then you should probably take a lot of chemistry and biology and physics, right? Like, take all those courses, right? And probably throw in, you know, some English so that you know how to write a good essay, right? But someone who wants to be a machinist or a fabricator, they don't need that. They need math. Sure, they definitely need math, right? They probably need to understand a little bit of physics, like rudimentary physics and rudimentary chemistry, right? But the rest of that should be going towards, like, workshop, like woodworking classes and metal fabrication classes, like, because, like, they teach that. They actually teach that in high school here. Like, they teach welding and, like, shit like that, and it's like, because then you could, like, if someone was like, I really want to be a welder, right, and they start learning it in high school, by the time they actually get out of high school and into the field, they've already got 4 years of experience welding, right? That's 4 years knocked off of, like, some potential employers need to teach them and educate them on it. Keith, why'd you get hit there? Yeah, it's just crazy to me. Education in and of itself is just absolutely bonkers to me, like how poorly and like some of the stuff that we believe is necessary. Well, yeah, like, cuz I'm sorry, like 90% of people, and, like, that's one of the things that I've always thought, is, like, they should even have, like, high schools that are, like, separate in terms, like, so if you want to be a scientist, you go to the high school that specializes in science, right? Lots of bio, lots of chem, lots of physics, lots of, like, theoretical math, right? Like, that sort of thing, right? But if you don't want to do that, you're like, I like building things, then, like, a trade school pre-university, like Gymnast just said, makes so much sense. Because I'm sorry, 90% of the population, we got a 1% devil deal, holy shit. Oh my god. 90% of the population aren't going to become like physicists. They're gonna become, you know, carpenters, tradesmen, construction workers, like the actual people that make sure the gears of society run. Right? Like, I'm sorry, but, like, do I love the sciences, and do I think the sciences are important? Yes. But they are important to, you know, the select few people. 90% of the people of the planet work in menial / trade centric jobs, right? So it would be much better to educate most people on those things so that they're better equipped to actually exist and make money in the real world, right? Like, I have a family member who went to university and he majored in history, like World War I, World War II history. And it's like, that's not going to help him in any way. Like, unless you want to be a history teacher. We might be dead here. I'm too busy ranting. Oh, Jesus! So yeah, that's my take on the education system. Yeah, exactly. Like, it makes no sense to teach a kid, you know, a shit ton of, like, chemistry if they're never gonna use it. Right? But if they are going to use it, then it makes sense to have them centered in an environment where that is the thing that they are doing. Okay, I don't even know how the fuck I am supposed to deal with these guys, because I am not... Oh yeah, I'm just dead. Like... Erg. That was a fun rant. 10 out of 10. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. The education system is one of those things that I can rant about for days. Fuck it, we ball. Now let's just hope we can find some damage ups. You almost just gotta, like, lure them around and, like, let them kill themselves with their own bombs. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, I'm gonna like pause and read that for a second. Yeah, it's kind of one of those things where it's like political views plus ideology like do not match. Yeah. My brother is actually very like that. Like, Jamie has some extremely, like well thought out ideas and arguments about a lot of stuff. But the way that he approaches them and the way that he thinks about them, you're just like, is just so backwards. It's almost like going like, your thought process is there. Like, it's not incorrect, but just, like, what you're thinking is going to change about those, like, those things is not how it's going to work. Honestly, I'm actually doing okay for damage. Like, I don't do a lot, but it's because I hit so much that it's kind of like... Pin also doesn't have a lot of health. I vote we go for Devil Deals, because we've been fucked over every other time. Never mind. We're gonna go for Angel Deals, because it tried to fuck me over with that. The only thing I would have wanted there was Brimstone, because Brimstone just makes it fucking hilarious. You just like... And you just have an orbital laser. Yeah, I've got some pretty... Business will make things better. Yes. And that's the thing. Making Canada important to other countries, i.e. through business or whatever else, is not bad. Like, it's not bad to have other countries want to invest their money in Canada. However, that also means that foreign entities also end up with, like, shareholdings and whatever else in Canada, which can then cause them to have influence, which then causes Canada to need to worry about them, right? It's a whole interconnected web. And really, truly, the thing that Canada should worry about is Canada, right? We should be much more focused on, like, what we can do to help our own populace out. Because I will definitely say that I am not a conservative in any stretch of the imagination, but I also wouldn't say that I'm a liberal either. Because I think that both parties have things to recommend them. I think that they both have, like, certain ideas and certain... Exactly. Sure, you know, Canada wouldn't be making... Yeah, no, exactly, right? And if each mom and pop shop kind of, like, specializes in something a bit different, right? Like, you go to the bakery that, you know, your neighbor owns, and then you go to the butcher shop that, you know, your friend owns, and then you go to, you know, wherever else that, like, you know, another, like, person that you kind of know owns, right? Like, it makes more sense. You're putting money in, like, actual people's pockets, not a gigantic mega conglomerate corporation that you know, needs to make its bottom line look good and pay its workers barely a minimum living wage. Or barely a minimum wage, not even a living wage. However, the same time, I also understand where, like, capitalism in and of itself is, like, it makes sense on paper. Capitalism makes sense on paper. However, it does not make sense in practice because of human greed. The same way, I had a philosophy professor in university that made this statement. I had a philosophy professor that made the statement of, how did he say it? Communism, on paper, makes sense as a governing system. However, put into practice, it never works. Because you need to account for human greed, and communism on paper does not account for human greed. Right? Or even libertarianism. We need some health. Badly. I might go try and feed some coins to the little bum friend. I gotta remember for the spikes. The spikes will kill me. And like to me that's the thing, is like some ideas, especially political and social ideas, work great on a piece of paper. They don't work well in practice. Because you have to account for the human element. You have to account for greed. And yeah, exactly. Like, that's the thing. And usually the people that are whack are the 1% because they want to keep gaining more money. And it's like, here's the thing that I don't understand. If you make more money, if you make so much money in your lifetime that you physically could not spend it all, why? Right? Like, I don't know how many times, like, I've had this thought, and, like, me and my partner have had this discussion, and it's something that I really, truly, like, believe in. Ooh, that could be really good so that we don't need to fight Mom. Actually, no, we need to fight Mom anyway, so whatever. Is, like, if I was streaming, right, and I ended up somehow, you know, getting really far ahead and I was making a shit ton of money from it, whether it was from YouTube videos or, you know, Twitch or whatever, and I had more money than I physically knew what to do with, I would want to put enough of it aside that I could, you know, retire if I wanted to, and just live my life, you know, however, right? But, like, the rest of it, it's like, okay, what do you do with it? Maybe leave some to your kids, right, so that they could have, like, a good life. I don't want them to just be lazy and just live off of a trust fund. I would want them to still have to work, because working teaches you valuable life lessons. right? But maybe be able to work in something that they want to do instead of, you know, needing to do the thing that, like, makes them the most money. Right? Like teaching, right? Like, if one of my kids wanted to be a teacher and I had a shit ton of money, you fucking go for it. Like, that's what I would rather, is, like, become a teacher and become a teacher that like, wants to help people. Right? Don't worry about money. Just teach. Like, that would be, like, my ideal. But then the rest of the money, like, if I have nowhere else to put it or spend it or anything like that, it's like, okay, you know, give it away, give it to charities. Or better yet, don't give it to charities, because a lot of charities are, they require humans, and humans are greedy, right? Set something up so that you can actually try and, like, benefit, like, the population. Like, in my mind, it would be like to set up like a teaching subsidiary, right? It doesn't need to make money, it just needs to give money to teachers so that they can fucking buy, like, stuff for classrooms, right? And sure, you gotta, like, worry about human greed there too, but, like, it's just, it makes no sense to me. And, like, that's, honest to God, what I would much rather do if I had money. I wouldn't want to just hoard it. Like, I'm not a fucking dragon. I don't need a shit ton, like, giant pile of gold coins. Right? Like, it's the same thing of, like, you know, it's the same concept question of, like, you know, what happens if you win the lottery? What do you do with it? In my mind, nothing. Put it in a fucking bank account. Yeah, exactly. Wind, solar, nuclear plants, rehab center. Exactly, Gymnast. Like, things that just better people's lives in general. Yeah, exactly. And that is genuinely what I think about. Is like, if I actually won the lottery, it's like most of it would go into a bank account. I'd still work. I might work doing something that I love doing, i.e. blacksmithing and making knives or streaming. Right? But it's like, okay, if that's the case, then I might as well also do something with the rest of that money to try and support the rest of the people around me. Yeah, exactly. Right? And, you know, you put in place that, like, if they want to get into the condo complex, they have to be going to rehab. They have to be, you know, help them find a job, even if it's a fucking minimum wage job. And see, that's the thing, though, is I learned this a little while ago. Some people that are homeless by choice. Like, there are some people who would rather be homeless because it's no responsibility. They just don't want responsibility at all. And you know what? To those people, I say, okay, all right, then that's your choice, though, right? But most people that are homeless suffer from some sort of mental illness or drug addiction or whatever, right? It's like, I would rather put my money towards helping those people and getting them back on their feet, right? So that they can actually do something. Than just like, ow. Apparently, if he picks up 15 coins, he leaves. Yeah. Cool. But But yeah, like, again, like, if I won the lottery, it would be like, all right, most of my money is going into a bank account that I'm going to use in investments. Yeah, that's just... somehow, yeah. But even then, like, it's still one of those things where it's like, I believe that a lot of people out there, they literally just need help. They just don't know how to get out of the life that they are in. Right? And it's a two-way street, though. Like, if someone's not willing to get better, then yeah, fuck them. I agree. 110%. Oh my god. That's going to not be very useful to me. My tears are going to do absolutely no damage. Oh my god, okay. Rainbow. Yeah, exactly. I agree, 110%. I think that most people out there are just so... There's a lot of people out there that are just lazy. Yeah, no, you don't get over depression because someone said to you. You get over it because you had to. Yeah. Doesn't matter what reason you had to get over it. You did. So now you do. Or please just keep killing yourself on the fires. Oh my god. The tear effects from Rainbow Cookie are actually, like, helping immensely. Oh my god, another Devil Deal? I don't want it. Oh, look. Yeah, I definitely don't want it. Yeah, that's just my opinion, is like, if you have so much money that you don't know what to do, you try and facilitate the things that will help the rest of the people. Like, the rest of the world. Like, try and, you know, try and help them. Because, forgive me for saying it like this, but most people are pretty bad at, like, helping themselves. And it's a sad truth of things. It really is. Like, it is the sad truth of a lot of things. Is most people are just, they're just not good at taking care of themselves. They just don't know how to. Humans are not supposed to help themselves. Yeah, they're supposed to help other people. And in turn, other people also. We develop community. Exactly! Humans are a social species! We develop communities to help each other. And I think somewhere along the way, like, people forgot that. Like, they lost the memo on, like, yeah, your job is to actually not just help you, it is your job to also make sure that, you know, your neighbor's okay. Somewhere between Shiny Rock and now. What? Oh, yeah. We lost the memo somewhere between we got a Shiny Rock and now. I understand. Fuck me! Go away, telekinesis. Ah, perfect. We got our Fool card. Yeah, somewhere in the time frame of ooh shiny rock to now, we lost the concept of a helpful community. Yeah, no, it's true. Like if we shunned greed instead of praising it, so many more people would not necessarily want to be poor, but they'd be more focused on having a life. Right? They'd be more focused on making sure that they could eat, sleep, you know, had food. But now, instead, we're too focused on making sure that we can, you know, lord over top of everyone else, that we have more money than they do. We have the possibility, like, that's the thing, like, like, you know, someone who has a shit ton of money has the possibility of surviving longer than you because they have more money, but, like, to a point, it's like, do they use it? Like, there's a certain point where it's like, okay, like, you physically cannot spend the money that you have earned. Oh, Keith, come on. Sorry, 1 second. What? Wow. No, and it's true. Like, I think that it makes way more. What killed me? Oh. And, like, that's the thing, too, is, like, in some aspects, you are probably correct. Like, you know, I would prefer not to work as, like, say, a sewage pipeline cleaner. Right? Like, that sounds like a shitty job, literally. But at the same time, right, to do that, instead of it going like, okay, yeah, like, everyone gets enough food, water, housing, whatever, that they need to survive, okay? You can still buy amenities. You can still, like, having money doesn't, like, having more money just means that you get to do other things outside of just live, right? So it would still create demand for people wanting to do those jobs, right? And in reality, my belief is, like, yeah, the hard jobs, the ones that require education, i.e. like being a scientist or being a nurse or doctor or whatever, should pay you a pretty good wage, right? But I also think the low jobs on the totem pole in terms of, like, prestige, let's say, like a sewage pipeline cleaner, should also be paid a fuck ton because no one wants to do that fucking job, right? It's the median job, it's the middle of the road jobs that, like, are what causes the problem, right? Because you're right, no one wants to be a sewage and pipeline cleaner, but if they're making, you know, yeah, exactly, and that's what I mean, like, money should be used as a luxury thing. Like you use it for gaining luxuries, not for lording over everyone else that, like, you can survive. Right? I think that humans should be able to just survive on their own.
Experimental pill.
But yeah, I believe that human compassion is, like, one of the things that has been, like, sorely and almost totally destroyed by us as a species. Like, we've just fucked it completely. Correction, not as a species in general. I'm talking about, like, North American corporate bullshit. Because I've seen compassion. I've seen human compassion in a society. And that was in Mexico. And, like, that's the thing, like, everyone, like, it is true. The world, I think, if that got implemented now, like, soon, I do think that the world would crumble for a little while. Right? I think it would need to be implemented slowly, because there would be a lot of people who would just become lazy, who would just be like, okay, well, the government's paying for this stuff, I don't need any crazy amenities, so I'll just not work. And a lot of people would stop going to minimum wage jobs, right? Right? So then it creates the conundrum of like, all right, so how do you get people to work those minimum wage jobs? Well, either you pay more or nothing wrong with not working. I both agree and disagree because there is nothing wrong with not working. However, if the entire country decided to stop working, then we would have nothing, right? And that's what I'm saying. The minimum wage job isn't worth doing. So, how do you make it worth doing? Either more money, better benefits, or, you know, some other incentive. Right? Because you could end up with people who, like, well, I mean, I've met them. I've met quite a few welfare cases. So what you're saying is if people were working and had a job, they got that allowance, that 1,000 square foot house, whatever. That's what you're saying? Oh shit, Gymnast, it's 11 o'clock. I need to be done. Sorry, guys. It is time for me to be done. Ah, I understand. I gotta be done, guys. I need to run. I didn't realize what time it was, otherwise I would have stopped when I died. But I'm gonna head out. If you guys have enjoyed this, please hit the follow button if you have not already. And if you have, hit the bell so people can know that, so you can know when I go live, and you can come and hang out and listen to me rant about things, as you guys have probably seen today. I've been ranting a lot. But until then, I'll be back on tomorrow around the same time, 8 o'clock, and I will see you guys then. I hope everyone has a good day.